talk about economy. In economy, there is one crucial question, which is how to allocate the resources that we have. What is the best way to make sure all the resources can be distributed to all? Well, the economic system is the best mechanism to allocate resources, especially scarce resources. What is the economic system? Economic system is a network that forms the economic interaction between people in the society. In other words, how citizens of a country work together to form a complex whole and perform economic interactions. The fact that millions of people come together in the market to drive supply and demand makes the economic system complex. Countries and governments use economic system to distribute resources and trade products and services that are used to manage the four factors of production, which is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. For instance, a chain reaction occurs when millions of people rush to the Apple shop to buy the latest iPhone. More batteries, glass, electrical processes, and other components are needed by Apple. As a result, demand for those materials industries increases. So we take a quick look at the type of market system. There are common system, market system, mixed system, and Islamic system. As a brief, firstly, for common system is also known as socialism or communism. In a common system, the government owns most property resources and economic decision-making occurs through a central economic plan. Next is market system. Other name for market system is capitalism. The system is characterized by the private ownership of resources and participants act in their own self-interest. Individuals and businesses seek to achieve their economic goals through their own decision regarding work, consumption, and production. Then, a mixed system. So this system actually combines aspects of both capitalism and socialism. A mixed economic system protects private property and allows a level of economic freedom in the use of capital, but also allows for government to interfere in economic activities in order to achieve social aims. Another one is Islamic system, in which all economic activities have to be within the boundary of Sharia.
Next, we move to the 5 fundamental questions. Firstly, what goods and services will be produced?
Society as a whole cannot get everything at once. Because of this, it takes a variety of consumer goods and services needs of the people to increase production of one good can be achieved by reducing the others. In order to be profitable, businesses must respond to consumers, individuals, other businesses, and the government wants and desires.
Secondly, how will the service and product be produced?
This refers to different aspects of production, from selecting which raw materials to be used, what technique of production has to be adopted, and where this good will be produced. There is capital-intensive technique where more machinery is used, and then there is labor-intensive technique where more manpower is used.
Thirdly, who will get the goods and service?
Every product is distributed between consumers based on their ability and willingness to pay for it in the current market price. The ability of the consumer to pay the equivalent price for the product is determined by the size of his cash income.
Next, how will the system accommodate change?
Industrial societies are dynamic, changing consumer preferences, production technology, the structure of the supplied resources. An entrepreneur or firm that introduces a popular new product will be rewarded with increased revenue and profits.
Lastly, how will the system promote progress?
An entrepreneur or firm that introduces a popular new product will be rewarded with increased revenue and profits. New technologies that reduce production costs and thus product price will spread. The choice depends on how effectively we use the factors of production, what will be the output, and the quality of the outcome.
An economy is a tricky thing to control, and governments are always trying to figure out how to manage it. Back in 1776, economist Adam Smith showed everyone by saying that what government should do is actually just leave people alone to buy and sell freely among themselves. He suggested if they just leave the self-interested traders to compete with one another, markets are guided to positive outcome as if by an invisible hand. The invisible hand is a metaphor for the hidden forces that drive the free market economy. The invisible hand is an element of laissez-faire market concept, which means let do or let go. In other words, the concept assumes that the market will establish equilibrium in natural pattern without the intervention of the government or other external forces. When supply and demand find equilibrium naturally, shortage and oversupply can be avoided. The spontaneous movement of prices and the flow of commerce is caused by the ongoing interplay of individual influences on market supply and demand. Each free exchange creates signals about which goods and services are available and how difficult they are to bring to market. These signals captured in the price system spontaneously direct competing consumers, producers, distributors, and intermediaries, each pursuing their plans to fulfill the needs and desires of others.
Okay, let's talk about the demise of common system. What is common system? An economic system that is centralizing the planning or system of economic to government. Why it has a demise? It has been studied by researchers and resulting, first, the coordination problem. It happens in the condition when a central planner had to coordinate the millions of individual decisions. Because the outputs of many industries serve as inputs to others, the failure of any single industry to achieve its output target caused a cause and effect of result.
Second, the incentive problem. When central planners misjudged how many products were wanted at the government-determined prices, persistent shortages and surpluses of those products arose. Sometimes happened where no signal, more or less, of certain products was desired, fluctuation in prices and profits. Thus, many products were unavailable or in short supply, while other products were overproduced.
Now, we move to the mixed system. A mixed economic system combines both aspects of socialism and capitalism.
A mixed economic system protects private property and allows a level of economic freedom in the use of capital, but also allows for government to interfere in economic activities in order to achieve social aims. The public sector works alongside the private sector, but they may compete for the same limited resources. Mixed economic systems do not block the private sector from profit seeking, but do regulate business and may nationalize industries that provide a public good. The example of countries that practice mixed system is United States, Germany, and United Kingdom.
Next, the topic about Islamic economic system.
How does the Islamic economic system? It has the motivational system to attain falah or welfare, that within the world and the hereafter, with the beliefs God has created the universe for the benefit of human beings, and also God has made resources are available to men who has the responsibility to use them in most efficient ways and transform them into goods and services according to his needs to attain the welfare or ultimate happiness. It has principle that all human economic activities have to be within the boundary or within Sharia. How does the Islamic system of organization types of decision and coordinating? First, its market system. The market system implementing health market competitive. Second, it is involved the positive rules of government. Third, all decisions are guided under Maqasid Sharia or the goals of Sharia. So, how is the system of type of income distribution in Islamic system? First, it is according to the work of society, according to the needs of society, the ownership of goods and services, zakat and volunteer sector, such as Qard Hasan, Sadaqah, Khairat, etc.
Now that we've looked at the types of economic systems, let's look at how the economy actually works by looking at the circular flow model. The circular flow model illustrates the repetitive, continuous flows of goods and services, resources and money in the market. In this diagram, it shows a simplified version. A two-factor circular flow for an economy with no government intervention. This model breaks the economy down into two primary players, the firms and the households. Additionally, these economies markets are also divided into the resource market and the product market. In the product market, household gets goods and services that the firms provided. At the same time, household provide resources to the firms in the factor market. It can be labor, land, capital, or entrepreneurship. For free? Of course not. Just like we don't get freebies from firms, we don't provide labor for free either. So there's money flowing in the opposite direction. Firms get revenue income for the goods the households get, while households receive their income from selling the resources in the form of wages, rent, interest, or profits. In summary, this model depicts a complex web of economic activity in which businesses and households are both buyers and sellers. Households buy products and sell resources, while businesses buy resources and sell products.
Now you might be wondering, what type of economic system is Malaysia using then? Well, let's look at how the country faces the COVID-19 pandemic.
The government of Malaysia enforced multiple lockdowns, starting with the first movement control order on March 18, 2020, to break the chain of COVID-19. This was the closure of all facilities and workplaces except primary and essential services, such as health services, water, electricity, telecommunication, and food supply companies. In order to cushion the economic interruption and social distress caused by the virus, various actions to improve the economy have been taken by the Malaysian government. For instance, an initiative amounting to 20 billion ringgit was announced as a stimulus package to enable the tourism and other industries in the nation to cope with the influence of this coronavirus pandemic. Subsequently, a second stimulus package worth 250 billion ringgit Malaysia was announced in March 2020, where 25 billion ringgit Malaysia out of 250 billion ringgit Malaysia will be allocated as income support to assist households and business owners affected by the outbreak.
These policies and regulations of the government show that Malaysia indeed has a mixed economic system, which means the government allows a variety of private freedom combined with centralized planning and government regulations. Interesting, isn't it? We hope that this video is able to give you a deeper understanding on the concept of economic system. Thank you for your attention and wassalam.